This video will show you how to make a ceramic nativity piece. The figures are all basically shaped the same way, with the sort of body shape and arm shape and head shape. The only difference is the details of what they have around their head and their face and what's in their arms and the decorations on them. But you can see that they're constructed in pretty much the same way. So no matter which figure you're making, you can start the basic same way that I'm going to show you right now. You'll start with 2 pieces of clay, small one and a large one, and we're going to take this large one and roll it into a cylinder. The cylinder is going to be this part of the body. So we're going to roll this up just like that. And we want to make it about the height of the handle of our pin tool. So here's our pin tool, and it should be about this height. So as you can see, this is too big. So you can press on the ends and get it to the right size, but then it will be a little bit misshapen, so you'll have to roll it a little. Another way you can do this is you can go like this, and you can kind of tap both ends to get it to be pushed together and compressed. And then you can roll it to smooth it out and make it more cylinder shaped. Now you can measure it again, and you can see, now it's a little too short, so it needs a little more rolling. That looks about right. It's just shy of the height of the handle for the pin tool, so that's perfect. And if you have any cracks or bumps, you can smooth them out with your finger. The next thing we need to do is taper it slightly so it's a little wider at the bottom. If it's wider at the bottom, it'll be more stable and it will stand up better. So we want to taper it at the bottom by making the top a little narrower. So I'm just going to kind of roll that way a little bit or press it in a little bit so it's narrower at the top and wider at the bottom. Double check again to make sure it's still the right height and you didn't make it too tall when you did that tapering. Okay, so now it's slightly narrower at the top, and to enhance that wide bottom, we're going to hollow it out. So the hollowing out is for 2 different reasons. One is we want it to be able to dry all the way through. So if you make this hollow, you can see the edges are thinner and it can dry all the way. It also will help you make it a little wider at the bottom. So this is now almost like a cone shape because it's wider at the bottom and narrower at the top. And double check again the height. It's still just about a little bit smaller than the pin tool handle, so that's perfect. And next we're going to move on to the arms. So you're going to just set this piece aside for a little while and take this piece, your smaller piece, and cut it in half. This is going to be your arm piece, and the arms are going to be attached all in one piece for 2 arms and the shoulders. So what we're going to do is roll that up and then roll it into a cylinder that is about as thick as one of our fingers. So that is around the thickness of my finger, so that's about right. And we're going to put it on like the letter T. So we're going to scratch and attach this with a little water and a clay toothbrush and press that on and attach it. And then you're going to see there's a little line in between where the shoulders are attached to the chest, and we want to make it look like it's all one solid piece. So we're going to smooth the extra clay across that crack so it looks like it's all connected and it's all one piece. Okay, so now we have our body and our shoulders and arms, and you can see the arms might not be exactly the right length, so you might have to decide that you need to trim them a little bit so that they're approximately the right length. They should be a little bit longer than waist length, and if you're not sure how long your arms should be, you can stand up and you can hang your arms down and you can see how far down the arms come on your own body, and that will help you decide how long to cut these. Okay, so next we're going to move on to the head. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to take a little bit of this piece of clay and roll it into an oval shape. So I've got a little oval shape here, and you will have to try it on for size and see if that looks like the right size. If it's just as wide as the chest, it's too big. That looks about right. And you can pinch one side to make it a little bit narrower, so you've got a sort of a neck, and I pinch and roll a little bit to make it a little oblong, so I've got a good neck shape. And then we'll do some scratch and attach there. And press that on, and you'll have to press the clay, kind of spread it across that crack in between to make sure that it's all the way attached. All right, great. Now you could put some details on for the face at this point if you'd like to, or you could wait and do that later, or you can leave the face completely empty and blank. A lot of people do that and it looks quite nice. Finally, you'll need to start thinking about the headdress. You might want to put on a headscarf like this figure. You might want to put on some kind of a hat, like this one has on a turban and this one has on a sort of a little fez hat, or you could make a crown, or you could just leave one that and just make hair and ears. So this is up to you, how it depends on which figure you're making. I'm going to show you how to make the one with the headscarf now. So you take some of your leftover clay and you roll it into a ball. And you press it with the palm of your hand on both sides, flipping it over back and forth until it is quite thin. And then once it's really thin like this, you're going to set this right on top of it. Set the figure right on the top of that headscarf piece, and you're going to flip this top part up around the forehead, and then wrap the sides down around the sides of the head like this. And then fold them towards the back like this. Okay, so then you've got the headscarf around the top like that, and then with some of your extra clay, you can make the tie that ties around like that. So roll a very, very thin piece for that. Or you could just draw it on with your pin tool. So this is very, very thin, much thinner than a pencil. And I'm just going to give it a quick little scratch with water and the toothbrush, and I'm going to wrap it around like this. And you don't really tie it. Just put it across like in a little X, and then press it on firmly to make sure that it's all the way attached. Now if you want to carve in a face, you may. It's not essential, it's up to you. Then you can pose the arms in any way that you think that you need the arms to be. If it's Joseph, you might want to have the arms out like this so he can hold his staff. If it is one of the wise men, you might want to have his arms like this so that he can hold on to a gift. Or you can have his hands together in prayer, like that. Or you could have the arms just straight down to the side, or you could have one arm sort of on his hip like this, so he can hold, like if it's the shepherd and he's going to be holding the shepherd's hook, or if it's Joseph and he's holding the staff. This is another way you could do that. All right, good luck on your nativity piece.